Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Horde of Tales tonight. We are very happy to be sponsored by Evil Hat Productions themselves for this game, a continuation of this game, using the Monster of the Week system named Colourless. Please feel free to click the link in chat to support our incredible cast, who we will be reintroducing you to very soon, and get these super fun games. Here are some early content warnings. Not everything that I say might come up tonight, but I'd rather let you know that things could come up than you just be caught unawares. So, some early content warnings. Colorless is a game that will deal with general themes of psychological horror, violence, blood, swearing, and themes regarding the loss of identity and self identity. Although the swearing is just more to cover me. With that, my name is Apollo. I'm a person. I will be your keeper for this evening. And now, let's say hey to our incredible cast. Starting off with someone who wasn't here for our first session. I wonder who it could be. Lola, say hey to everyone. Don't tell them about your character just yet. Just introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Lola. Fairvelt Yarns on most things, or Johnson O'Fair. And yeah, this is me. My pronouns are they, them, and happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month.
Hey.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy
Tendai, that's you.
Hi, I'm Tendai. My pronouns are they, them. I'm also excited to be playing this game. Also, happy Pride Month, obviously. And yeah, I'll be playing, well, since I introduced my character last time, I'll be playing Chengatai, who is a cafe owner with a bit of a penchant for emotions.
Kestrel.
Hi, I'm Kestrel, she, they. Happy Pride Month. Personally, I'm waiting for Envy, favorite of mine. And I'm playing Rosie, a sort of washed up late 20s musician, janitor who's recently gotten the opportunity of a lifetime. But now she's got to deal with all these gosh dang zombies during Pride Month, which sucks. So let's see how that turns
Pride
out.
Month of all time.
During Pride
During
so
Pride Month.
homophobic.
Yeah.
Straight
Hate
Pride
crime.
ladies taking over. We're going to deal with that. That's why we're here.
And Nathan.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nathan Blades, he, they, androgynous android game shows from the future. I will be playing Robert Clark, the expert, bookshop owner, and occasional drag queen. Happy Wrath Month, everybody. These painted nails rend flesh.
Bang. Okay.
Ooh,
Damn, quote of the day.
get him.
Get him. And you know what? I was going to do a recap myself, but I actually like to hear recaps from the players. Just because it clues me in to know what you guys have been picking up on so that I don't accidentally spoil my own mystery. So, who's been a note taker this whole time?
We all know who.
All right, give me a recap.
So, we are in the sleepy little south of London town Nortonsbury that is preparing for its annual Pride Parade on the weekend. We have been following one Amanda Jones, the person who runs the OG smallest gay pub in Nortonbury, the Courtroom. She is very nervous about the idea that TV stations are coming in to go and record the event, but there are bigger fish for her to fry, for there has been some kind of disturbance slightly out of town that has damaged the nearby Cells reception tower. Checking in on our various characters along the way, she goes and visits Robert Clark, the bookshop owner and one of the drag performers who performs at the Courtrooms on a Wednesday, although it seems that today's performance is going to be cancelled. We have also popped in to the cafe Nibbles and Things, owned by Chengatai, somebody who likes to emotionally connect with her community on multiple levels. Also at the cafe is the one and only Rosie, who is making excellent strides in the community, connecting with everybody in her own way. It looks like she may be sticking in town for longer than she initially expected. However, there was a gaggle of teens
Mhm.
also at the Nibbles and Things, who, in addition to enjoying some of the free pastries that would have been distributed to the courtroom, but instead are now having to go to the put upon members of the cafe instead. They were distracted by beignets and a news report on their phones. It seems that somebody has managed to do some shaky cam footage of an object, a meteorite, that has landed nearby to Nortonsbury. Interestingly, all of the footage is in black and white. Taking a look at the footage and realizing
desaturated.
it might be more than just a TikTok filter, Robert, Chagatai, and Rosie all collectively make their way out to the site of the radio tower and the meteorite. They were expecting to go and see Amanda and the people she was working with out there, but they were nowhere to be seen. However, Amanda's hat was still on the scene. It seems that that filter wasn't a filter, but actually the color having been leached from this space. Amanda's lawn hat being one of the only things still remaining pigment. Climbing up the side of the bent and damaged radio tower with very speedy patches, I believe Rosie looked out back on Nortonsbury, but didn't quite manage to see that the monochrome effect is slowly seeping towards the settlement. Returning to the courtroom in the bid to try and find Amanda, we do find her, but unfortunately not in the state that we would like. She seems to have been attacked while she was out of view, and the entirety of the building is in monochrome, including herself. Rosie goes in to check if she's okay, and she rises to her feet against all odds. It seems that there is a substance or some kind of energy that was holding this woman together despite the fact that she had died. Fortunately, due to some quick thinking and some excellent spell work on Chengatai's part, we managed to both stop the monochrome from spreading any further and, for now, dismiss whatever thing was possessing the body. Enough so that she did, thankfully, have a pulse. But whatever is attacking the town, trying to remove some of the most vaulted members of our community, and, well, we're not going to let that stand. We might need more manpower and somebody who truly understands the supernatural. We need Rosie's relative, Danny.
Yeah, that was an incredible recap. Thank you
Oh,
very much.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Mhm.
Really good. I
I
feel
don't
like I
think
was
there's-
there.
Have a nice time.
Thorough.
I've
I love
watched it.
thorough notes.
Truly, I
Mm.
don't think there's anything left. Where last we left off was on that little bit of a cliffhanger of somebody seeing something and being scared in the middle of the night. Well, that's not where we're going to pick up, because the night goes on, and eventually the sun has to rise again. And just at the break of dawn, stepping off of a bus, train, a mode of public transportation that works better than any mode of transportation that
bus.
a bus.
A bus, a
You
good
wanna be a
old
big-
bog standard overnight bus that
You gotta love it.
yeah, it's that lovely smell of kind of overuse and the occasional kind of spill of alcohol that is sort of seeped into the seats that kind of wafts out behind Danny.
A lot of concerts. This bus has seen a lot
Yeah.
of concerts.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Rosie
I have
Moore.
to go on one in a few weeks, and I'm not looking forward to it. And
Oof.
Lola, can you please describe your character to us?
Yeah. So Danny steps off the bus. Doors kind of, well, I'd say stepped off, but it was a bit of a kerfuffle at the door because the door started to open and then shut as they were making their way to try and get off, and then they stepped back, and it it was almost as if the door broke, and so they're struggling with it and like apologizing to the driver until they eventually kind of slightly tumble off the bus and kind of land somewhat ungraciously in front of it with just kind of a long rolled bag over their shoulder. They stand up, straighten themselves, and straighten the long kind of dress coat that they have and they're wearing, and just shake their head, and their hair, which much like mine is kind of purple, pink, and orange gradient coming down, but that's where the most of the brighter colors are. Otherwise, they're wearing black and just some hints of color kind of interwoven into pockets and things like that. They're peeking out of the many pockets on this long coat. They are a dark-skinned person of about 5'10", and they're looking around to kind of place themselves where the megabus stops.
Incredible. You step off the megabus, you check your phone, and you have a message just from one of the many admin people from the Order of the Watching Star. Yeah, that's the name of it. That's the name of the organization that I gave. Yeah, that's it. I know my own lore. GMs, if you don't know your own lore, you might be entitled to financial compensation. You have just a message that's just the name of just one of the small hotels it's probably the only hotel here. It's half hotel, half B&B. It's right on the edge of what it counts to be which one. Just with a room number. It's already been paid for you. You're stepping off this bus. It's probably 6, 7 a.m. It's still too early for people to be up and about. There are a couple of the very early shop fronts, like probably one of the town's gyms might be open, or one of the like very early cafes might be open as well for people that like to get a bit of coffee or just a little bite to eat some pastry before they go off into the big city of London for their work. But for now, the town is waking up.
Right. Can I do a thing as I begin to kind of situate myself in this town?
Absolutely.
So, can I roll? So, I can see things that not many other people can typically see when it comes to spaces. I can see the influences that are more supernatural, magical, and spirits that tend to wander, and I can communicate with them. So perhaps as I kind of settle into this place and want to get a very brief lay of the land before I begin striding off to my hotel, can I investigate a mystery?
Please do. Yes. So investigate a mystery. Because the system that we're using, you're rolling your 2d6 and you're adding whatever you add to that. Now, with investigate a mystery, tell me what you get, and tell me what you get.
Okay, so on the dice I rolled a 4 and a 5, and I have +1 to sharp, so a 10.
Oh, lovely. Okay. On a 10, you can hold 2. So you can expend a hold to ask me a question. There's technically like a list of questions, but these can get the list of questions are: what happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What is it going to do? Or what is being concealed here? If none of those seem appropriate to you, you can ask me any other question.
Okay.
Except, hey, GM, please, hey, Keeper, please read me your notes.
Yeah, I think in that kind of searching around, they close their eyes, take a deep breath in, and then open them again to kind of properly try and see if they can
Mhm.
connect with the spirits there. And they want to ask, what is being concealed here? Like, I can see things that aren't there usually. So what is being hidden that other people cannot see?
You take a deep breath. You center yourself. You try to focus on your eyes, just on pure vision, trying to see beyond what mundane people would be able to focus on and see. So you open your eyes again, almost like the heat coming off of a racetrack after a car chase or after a car race. Almost like those little waves of heat just above the tarmac, just above the streets. You can get you can catch out of the corner of your eye that there's a slight discoloration. Like somebody was moving just the very tail end of a black and white filter over some of the streets. But it's not uniform in any way. Like it's not the entire town is this, is you'll be able to pick up trails. And some of them are random. Some of them you see that they go into what you can see in the horizon are housing estates or apartment buildings or shop fronts, etc. But you can see these like little roads of black and white discoloration that extend throughout the town, as if whatever is here isn't big enough to encompass the whole town,
Mhm.
or there is a more concentrated, potent version of it that was ambulating throughout the town.
Right. Okay.
So you
I'll,
found a trail. You're
yeah.
not exactly sure yet where it goes because it's like you're looking at like a maze or a labyrinth. There doesn't seem to be much of a rhyme or reason, and in fact, a lot of these trails sometimes crisscross, interconnect, diverge into different paths. So it's not like there was one set path that this was going to, but you do see that there are. It's as if you could see the footsteps of the entire town, and then certain ones were highlighted for you.
Okay. Danny begins to follow maybe the strongest path before pausing, going back to their phone, which is a very old clunky flip phone,
Ooh,
because
love.
not the new ones. I know they brought them
Motorola
back.
Razor.
No, it's a very old flip phone. It's not even a smartphone. It's most assuredly not a smartphone.
Give me like a
And they're like,
Nokia.
yeah, I think it's a Motorola actually, not a Nokia.
Okay, I
It's
see you.
slightly more breakable than those bricks.
Users in the old phones.
All I can see is the Motorola Razor, like
Yeah.
the hot pink ones.
Don't get me started on I literally, there is an old phone in my parents' house that is like this big, like old mobile with the antenna and
When the
like
original
flip down.
80s bricks.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
murder weapon.
Yeah.
Yes, they're heavy.
So you pull out this archaic relic of times gone past.
And like, okay. Oh god, they have bloody okay. And try and get that text message with the hotel thing back on it, and then they're just like, no, I've got to go find someone that knows what's happening. Is it too early? Do I even have the time on this? Who knows?
Yeah, you know Robert's address.
Yeah.
You also have a text on your phone from Rosie saying, "Hey, Bug, when are you coming in?"
Oh.
Yeah, I will say, thinking about Robert, do you think you've ever been in this town before?
No. I've never actively been to this town.
Well, thankfully for you, this town is the most easily navigatable town in the entire goddamn world. It's basically one big street that just then started to sprawl out towards its edges. So everything of importance is pretty much just along the one main street. So just walking along these trails that you're able to pick up on, you very quickly see that Robert's place, like the storefront in front of, like underneath the apartment where he lives, there's a higher concentration of this grayish black and white discoloration here.
And Danny will put their hand to the roll on their back, just and then go forward, and perhaps if there's a bell, we'll press it, or we'll knock cautiously. Unfortunately,
There is a
way
pull
too
bell, like a cord that will ring a bell on the inside.
much.
God, I love that. You're so old.
Yeah.
It's part of the aesthetic, right?
Yeah.
I want to say that this is probably a registered building of some kind. So the exterior kind of has to stay to a certain period.
Good old conservation areas. So we'll pull that bell. Still hand on the roll.
There is a mild delay, and then you see Robert come out. It's clear that he's already been awake for a while, but hasn't formally gotten dressed. So he's in like a house coat and a dark blue, slightly blue-green pajamas and slippers, monogrammed.
Of course.
Well, I would say that this is a surprise, but you're full of coincidental surprises. It's good to see you again, Eridani.
Yes, Robert. It's great to see you. I guess I was already on my way here when I got the text. Those hunches aren't
They're no joke. Would you be interested in a pot of Lady Grey?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The bus was horrendous, and I could use something calming.
I'm always one for taking the train myself. He kind of like gestures for you to come in.
You know what the trains are like when I'm on them.
Has Robert been able to sleep?
Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't good.
Oh, good. He slept though. I think the fact that he knows he has work to do, the idea of trying to actually go and do difficult investigation work with minimal sleep is not going to happen. This isn't a 1940s film noir where you can just drink scotch and black coffee all night and still be functional the next day. So he tried his best and got maybe 3.5 hours for.
Clearly, you haven't discovered the magic that is monster video game boss music and a college essay due in T-3.
In my last year of university, I was in the IT rooms at 2 a.m. with the I genuinely cannot drink Monster Energy anymore. It makes me ill.
You know, that's so real, actually. Robert, the shop front. This is where it all went down last night. Have you cleaned up? Is it still a little bit of a mess? Is there a sign of struggle here?
Oh, sorry, maybe there's mild wires crossed. The pages of Paradiso, the store that Robert works at, I don't think was involved in too much of
it. It was the bar.
That was the bar. That's on me. Look at me forgetting my own place. Anyway.
Good. But I think to sit on that theme,
are there any signs that you've been here, are there any signs that you've prepped the research and study session?
There is a walk
or is it all still?
There is the front of the shop still needs to maintain the idea that it is a normal book and antique shop. So that looks still pride of place, almost even a little artificial to Danny's eyes. But as we like the shot we had before, going behind one of the bookshelves in the space that really like spatially shouldn't exist to his larger workroom behind. There is a very elaborate. You can tell that the start of arcane detective prep is underway. A lot of scrolls are out. A map of the town with some pins and some chess pieces placed upon it.
Lovely. And Eridani, just to go back to that, because I did make that blunder of Robert's shop, where I'm not going to say that it wasn't there. What I'm going to say is that there was a concentration of it, but just at the door. as if
Right.
whatever this was seemed to take an interest in this place, but was not able to get inside.
Okay. I
And
guess.
that's worse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think what Danny will do as she enters the shop is, having taken her hand off the roll case, will just kind of touch the door frame for a little bit, like very markedly, and then follow in as a like, you're doing your job, stay
Mhm.
that way, like as a kind of pushing
Yeah.
extra reinforcing whatever
Yes.
wards that are possibly there,
Mhm,
whatever
mhm,
rocks,
mhm.
whatever, just kind of thing. And then as they follow Robert into this space and I guess see the magical currents that are around from those, maybe something emanating off the scrolls, they'll kind of play their hands on it a little bit and then say, I think that something may have tried to get in last night, but your wards are holding strong. So
There's a mild tutting while the tea set that you helped him find on an adventure some time ago is stirring and pouring the tea for us. It is, as you are very well aware, haunted. But it seems an accord has been struck with whatever spirit lies
yeah,
within the bone china and is pretty amiable in terms of serving tea for people as long as you clean it properly.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think
Erdani,
I
you look
see
at
the
it.
person. I
Yeah,
see the person pouring it.
you look. There's just this lovely old lady who's like, and then in Ghost, she just speaks to you. I just like the sound of the clinking as she's stirring.
I'll smile at her and say, yes, it's lovely to see you again. I hope that you've had a lot more use here.
See, the old lady just looks at you and says, "Have you been eating properly? You look too thin. Take this." She just puts the teacup in you. The teacup floats up over to you, and you
Mhm.
hear rummaging through like a fridge back in the like the back of the shop.
Oh, there is a box of biscuits. Of course there is.
The
There
biscuit
has to
tin comes
be.
out. Just biscuits are being pushed into your hand by a by a ghostly
Jacqueline's
figure.
rich tea. Yeah.
Thank
Mhm.
you. Thank you so much.
And as you are being doted on by this ghostly grandmother, the other two, what's your deal this morning? What are you doing?
You gonna go first?
Okay. So Shanghai would be up probably at like the crack of dawn because as the cafe slash bakery, they'd be making fresh loaves of bread, doing all of that, and they
Mm-hmm.
probably would have stayed stress baking well into the early hours. So yeah, they'd be kind of setting up things. They'd be putting out the fresh croissants, a couple of new cakes in pride colors because they're trying to get color back into the town after seeing what we saw. They're a bit shaken about it.
Mm-hmm.
And they are just kind of cleaning up. It's a fairly small cafe, so they like to look after all the little bits and pieces themselves. And they're doing their daily rearranging. So moving some of the chairs
Yep.
around kind of
Mhm.
because they don't like it looking the same all the time.
Yep, absolutely. As you're doing the rearranging and the cleaning up, you notice just stuck in between like two uh, cushions, pillows. Yeah, that's the word. I fully forgot the word cushion for a second. In between two cushions, there's just a little like diary booklet
Mm.
from one of the universities in London. You open it up, and the very for like the reverse of the cover just has, "If found, please return to Bunny," and it has Bunny's address on it again. And you see that it's just a little notebook where Bunny has all the due dates on all their assignments and little notes and little
Okay.
just random musings and yapping and rants. It'd be like, "This professor really, really hates me." Just things like that, just written down there.
Okay. I'm going to take the notebook and just check my watch and see that it's probably far too early for the first customer of the day. And they're going to probably just close up shop, leave a little sign that says be back in 10 because like it's a small town. They'll be able to go to Bunnies and be back in about 10, 15 minutes.
Likely, likely.
And they're going to start making tracks.
Do you want to go alone or do you want to go with the others? Because I'll say that Roberts is probably on the way.
I above the table. Do you want to have a brunch scene with everybody to as a way of getting us all up to speed and having characters meet each other? If that is a thing that can
Ooh.
be weaved into events before we get to mysterying, if that's
I-
okay.
You know I love a brunch.
Oh, so do I. I am so here for brunch.
Right,
Uh,
okay.
Yeah,
We
so
will
I'll happily go alone. It'll be like first thing. I'll also be dropping off like loaves of bread to the local like moms who usually order some to weekly things like
Yeah,
that.
for sure, for sure. You're doing your rounds. You're dropping loaves of bread. Just just family, some elderly, usually kids whenever they run around. Um, you come up to. You're close to the train station now, and there's a big block of apartment buildings. You know that a lot of students for the universities in like London will rent out apartments here. It's not student accommodation, but it just ends up being student accommodation for half the building is just student accommodation functionally.
Hmm.
Very quickly, you just make your way up to the apartment that is listed as Bunny's address. Ring the doorbell. 1 second. You just stumbling. You hear, and then the door opens. And this early to mid 20s, androgynous, like short, like wolf cut, dyed like bluish hair, walks up, like t-shirt half hanging off their shoulder, revealing revealing a binder and the baggiest sweatpants you've ever seen in your life.
Oh,
This
so
person,
jelly.
they are called Angel. They are one of Bunny's friends, but I'll let you know that the vibes you've been getting from them lately is
They're they're roommates.
By
Your
God,
Honor,
they
they
were
were
Roommates.
roommates.
they were literally roommates. Your Honor, please. Yes, Bunnies. They were roommates. It just answers the door. Hey, what's up? How are you?
Headset seems to have switched itself off. Okay,
Oh,
there we go.
Oh no.
Okay, sorted. Can you hear me now?
yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. So Changatai is just going to kind of take, like, literally not going to bat an eyelid and say, is Bunny awake around? I have something that belongs to them.
Oh, 1 second. No,
I know
Bunny.
it's early.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to figure out the English language. Uh, yeah, Bunny came home earlier last night before I did. Let me just go knock on their door. They haven't gotten up yet. Hear them. Do you want to come inside? Actually, we have a tea if you want some
Uh,
tea, coffee. I need coffee. I can
sure.
make you a coffee.
A coffee would be great. And Changatai is going to like step in, just kind of like read the energy in the space, so they're not like
So hungover.
hungover. Okay, so they're going to be like, oh, okay, I'm definitely going to need some paracetamol when I get back. And they would always go somewhere with treats. So
Mm,
they have like a bag of croissants and Danish pastries, a couple of cinnamon rolls, and
yeah,
they're going to like kind of essentially present them almost as if out of nowhere and be like, I brought these for the early rude wake up. Sorry.
I know that it's my name, but you are an actual angel. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
They walk these into the kitchen. They just pull out a chair for you. You hear some knocking. Honey, hey, hey, Bun, you up? You up yet? Huh. Someone's here for you. What? I'm coming in. Click. Silence. Walk back out. Bunny isn't here.
Oh, and I take it that's not the norm.
No, no. Besides, this is a lot. It's yeah. Bunny was working on their thesis yesterday. But
Yeah, they were in the cafe for a spell.
yeah, yeah. I the visit them. Then all us and our friends, our other roommates, we went to the trivia night at the pub, and Bunny said they weren't feeling great, so they're coming back home early. And I honestly don't really remember getting home that well, so
Oh,
I should go to the I should go report this somewhere. I think
oh, okay. Yeah, if this is that out of the ordinary, then
I don't
absolutely.
have.
Would you like me to come with you?
1 second, and they're just gonna start pulling it. They pull out their phone. They just start trying to call Bunny's phone. Rings a couple times and gets disconnected. Try texting. They see that it goes through, but it's not being read or anything. They say, I think
Hmm.
I think I have to legally wait a bit before I can report anything. But yeah, I'm gonna can I get your number? I'm gonna go check out my other friends' places
Of
because
course.
Bunny may have just gone to someone else's place
Sure.
along the way. Um,
Chenga is going to like rattle off their number and say, while I'm here, is it okay if I just use your bathroom real quick?
yeah, yeah, of course, just the door to the left, that down there.
And is this bathroom anywhere near Bunny's bedroom by any chance?
Yeah, yeah. You walk past the bedroom to get to the bathroom.
Okay, would I be able to investigate a mystery while I'm walking by, or it's either investigate a mystery or kind of like read a bad situation? I want to try and do a vibe check on the room.
Give me honestly either, whichever one you prefer.
Say investigate mystery.
Yeah, yeah. You're
Okay. That was a 10, and
oh
with my sharp, it's a 11.
oh
Good
yeah, yeah.
numbers.
You can hold two. You can ask me whatever.
Okay, I'm gonna hold 2 and okay, is the energy in Bunny's room similar at all to the energy we felt in the pub?
Mm.
That
No,
kind of void sort of.
no. You feel
No.
that the last energy that was here was somebody excited to, after a long day of writing essays, coming
Someone
home for a
excited to
quick
go out.
change, excited to go out with friends.
Okay, so the
So,
energy has not been refreshed in hours, so they never made it home.
yeah, you don't think they made it home based off the energy here. You can still see that there's like the hoodie that they were wearing over in your cafe is just kind of like thrown on the clothes chair. Um, you
Hmm.
know, you
The
know
Yeah,
wardrobe,
yeah.
you
Oh
yes.
my
know
god,
how it
I had
is.
that chair.
I have that chair. Uh, there's like a half open like coca noodles thing, like just a little quick snack before heading out. The vibes here are someone getting ready to go out, not someone who came back from a night out.
Hmm. Oh, we've
Hmm.
lost you again? Oh,
No,
no, I
no,
can hear.
no, you're back.
Nope.
You're back.
Back. I don't know
You're
what is
ruminating,
happening. I know, it's so odd. Um,
pondering.
okay, so I'm going to obviously
Yeah.
just kind of file this away in my head and try and keep cool on the surface so as not to worry the roommates.
Hmm.
And I'm going to go to the bathroom and, clean up and come back out and say, I just kind of wait around for them. I'm not just gonna like leave their apartment because they're obviously a bit kind of worried.
Mm.
Yeah. You see that they say, right, okay, I've sent off messages. I've contacted Bunny's parents just to see if they know anything in case Bunny could have just gotten a late bus or sub train to the city or like to one of the other towns. I don't know. I'm gonna wake up my other roommates and we're just gonna make the rounds, go to the other people that we know who live around the area. I can keep you posted if you like. Thanks for popping in anyway.
Of course. Please do keep me posted. Bunny is a frequent of the cafe, so as soon as you find them, let me know, and I'll make sure that there's coffee and whatever nibbles you guys need to kind of resettle. I know this is probably quite scary.
Yeah, yeah. It's fine. It's fine. There's a lot of people in town. I'll try the hotel maybe too, because some people came in for the parade. Uh, it'll be fine. Oh, I'll be
Uh,
fine.
would I be able to feed a bit on this energy to lessen the impact of it?
Oh, yes,
Hmm.
absolutely.
I'm not sure what
Um,
to use for that. Probably
That feels
charm.
like a use magic, right?
Yeah,
you know what?
either
I'm
use
gonna give you the
magic or
choice.
manipulate.
That's what I
Hmm.
was gonna say. Manipulate someone. Yeah, please give me a manipulate someone roll, as you're going to try manipulate their emotions, not in a
Malicious
not in
way.
yeah, not in a malicious way, but literally trying to take away some of their stress and some of their
Hmm.
worry.
Ooh, that is not great. That was a 5.
Mm.
Okay, a 5. Ooh, that is a miss. Um, you can tell me how that goes wrong. How you can see that you try to do it and it just doesn't hit the mark.
So while they're kind of like saying, "Oh, I'll keep you posted," I'm going to essentially just kind of like feel for their energy. Like the fangs in my mouth will elongate slightly, and I'm going to try and like attach to what they're feeling and just siphon off bits of it. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably gonna strike a bit too sharply, and they're gonna kind of it's probably gonna make them a little bit worse
Yeah. I
instead of actually
think
soothing them.
instead of soothing, you accidentally like touch the nerve that they were trying to avoid.
Hmm.
The one thought of could they be seeing someone else? And you see
Hmm.
that the overthinking anxiety has accidentally been kicked into override. And
Yeah.
now you see that maybe not immediately, but in 20 minutes, they might be panicky.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna be like, okay, I have to go back to the cafe. Yes, please, Angel, keep me posted. And uh, it was lovely to meet you, but unfortunate circumstances. And Changatai is gonna flee, literally flee, as in like turn around, trying to go as like casually as possible, but almost tripping over their like platforms.
Mhm.
No, that's so real. Yeah, you get out of there and you start making your way back. Rosie, talk to me.
Yeah, so Rosie hasn't slept at all. She is in this tiny little apartment, poring over handwritten notes for lesson plans for her kids at the community center. What music she's going to teach them, what songs, what music theory. Um, but she can't hit on something profound. Her head is like sort of running over the interaction she had yesterday with like this kid who had like gotten in touch with like his like lineage's roots and is overthinking, well, now I need to recreate this feeling, and she's just being super hard on herself.
Mm.
um she curtains are drawn so no light from the day is getting through, so she's completely lost track of time. And she's just running herself ragged trying to like hit on something. She has to make lightning strike twice because things are falling apart, and this is the only thing she has been good at recently. Um, and in this sort of break in this routine she's been at for a couple of hours, since coming home late last night, she checks her phone to see if, the cousin's gotten back to her about when she's coming in. Um, and before she can even check her messages, she sees that it's like 11 in the morning and she hasn't slept at all.
Oh, bestie. Bestie.
Thankfully, she showered when she got in earlier, but she's just flustered. So she puts every she throws out the thought of trying to make this lesson plan, and just throws on some clothes instead. Gets her trusty trans pride and lesbian pins, and basically bolts out the door to head to Roberts as soon as she can.
As you start to bolt out the door, you bump into someone.
She barely processes that she's done that. She's like shakes and says, "So sorry," without really looking at what she just bumped into, and begins to move past them.
As you begin to move past them, they actually try to block your path and say, "I'm so sorry to bother you. Are you Rosie?"
Sorry. Who am I? Yes.
I'm David's mother. David, the kid
Oh,
From the school.
so sorry. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. You've caught me at a, one of the sleepless nights sort of things. So sorry. How can I help you? Heard all about the instrument stuff. Incredible.
Yes, as you start, doing the pleasantries, you look at two sort of middle-aged, dark-skinned women. One has like her hair is like tightly wrapped and like a head wrap. The other one just has longer braids that are falling over one shoulder. The just from context clues, you can tell that the one who bumped into you is the mom, and the other woman standing next to her, there's a passing family resemblance. It might be the aunt that David has told you about many times. You see that they also looked very, very tired, like very faces a little bit sunken, very sleep deprived. They're half wearing like they're not not like a nightgown, but these are house clothes that have been worn a little bit too long, like into the morning or night. Could go either way. Just from looking at her, you can tell that she's been up for a pretty long time, just like you. I'm so sorry to.
Oh,
Is
no,
David
no.
here?
David.
Yeah, yes, my son. You teach him music. This is the only other place I thought that he maybe could be. If maybe his band friends were, I don't know. They were
Wait. Why would David be here? Something? What's happened?
David never came home last night. We've been searching all night. Himself and his friends, they were out and they went to uh, one of the cafe Nibbles. They were in Nibbles and
Yesterday afternoon. Yeah, I think I saw them there.
yes. Okay, so you saw them. Do you know where they went after or?
No. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. No. I had to dash out pretty quickly for something. Didn't even go back afterwards. Where's the last time? When did you hear from him last?
Last was when his friends, they were all going to, so that they were all going back home. He sent us a text. You see, they show a text on the phone that is quite literally just, "Yep, on my way home. Just dropped off Honk and Hank. On my way home. Be home soon. Love you, mom." And that's sent, received, read. That was the last thing.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I'm so incredibly sorry. I'll keep an eye out.
But
I'll
please
head
do.
down to where Honk and Hank, whereabouts they live, see if I can find anything. I'll also put out a word to all the kids to see if they've seen anything. Okay, we're gonna find David. I'm sure he's probably just like gone and wandered somewhere and just maybe just like went to a friend's house and hasn't said anything.
Okay, yes. Well, let me know if you
Yes.
hear anything, please. And they go off, continuing their search. Are you going straight to Roberts?
She has to take a second just to process that, but yeah, she heads down to Roberts with a less enthusiastic gait in her step.
Yeah, you're walking away. You think about David. From what I mean, from what you know about David, David's a pretty responsible kid.
Yeah.
Fairly not like nerdy, but the quieter
Well-mannered.
of his
Yeah.
a well-mannered kid, the quieter of his social group. You know, the gaggle of teens, they ran the gambit between 16 to 18. So even the oldest ones there were pushing what can be considered a teen, like a young adulthood. So you can't really tell. It's plausible that they went to someone else's house and just forgot to let the parents know. Kids do it all the time. Who hasn't had a moment of forgetting to text their parents where they are? It's happened to everyone.
Millions of
Um,
times, yeah.
yeah, as you're looking, as you are walking, are you keeping to yourself or are you kind of like just looking around the town as people are
Yep.
moving around?
Initially, Rosie was walking with like just a sort of singular focus, but now she's like looking about, like she's actively looking at storefronts, she's looking at buildings, she's looking down like alleyways and streets. Like she knows David won't just magically pop out of like some random corner, but she can't help but like scan the pavement for any sort of sign of like a missing kid.
Hmm.
Yeah, of course. Um, Give me a read a bad situation, if you would be
Yeah,
so kind.
absolutely. Read a situation. So that's going to be plus sharp for me, which is an okay stat.
Hmm.
And do I have anything special for that? No. Okay, perfect. Oh, okay. 9 plus 1. That's gonna be a 10.
10. Lovely. Okay, hold 3. There's a list of questions you can ask me, or you can just ask me your own. Questions are, what's my best way in? What's my best way out? Are there any dangers I haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? What's most valuable to me? What's the best way to protect the victims? Now, there's stuff that I would like to give you for this. So I'm going to give you that, and we're going to count that as one of the that you can hold, and then you have 2 more to use. As you're walking around the town, you said around 11 a.m. So it's getting to about brunch time when everyone's going to reconvene. Um, More and more people as the morning are going. It's not like the whole town is out in search, but every few minutes, every so often, somebody is looking for someone that didn't come home last night. Uh, there seems to be about a handful of missing people, and there are people out looking for them throughout the town. Now you have 2 holds that you can use to ask me questions.
Everybody's is looking for some. Everybody's just sort of walking around like headless chickens a little bit.
Yeah, there's
Are there
oh
any?
hey, my roommate or my best friend
Yeah,
or
like
my
idle
mom,
conversation in the middle of the street.
yeah.
Um, are there any dangers like some people haven't noticed yet? Like what's gone unnoticed by these people sort of looking for these missing people?
What's gone unnoticed by people is that there's more than one disappearance here. It's for others, it still hasn't clicked. People are still in the early stages of, probably just got pissed at the pub and just didn't come back. The majority seem to be of people that were in that pub or people that were going back home late at night. Oh, you got over it. You got over a 10. Yeah. Something that also is a bit unnoticed is that you quickly realize that I think it would be you have some of like the details of your students. Something tells you to check what David's address was. David's address was from the side of town in the direction of directly you would be walking to the cell tower if you were
Right.
walking that direction. It seems like everybody who is gone, the handful of people, seem to be from places and neighborhoods around that direction.
Right. So it's affected there first.
Yeah. So we'll say that like all of them were on the eastward side of the town. There hasn't been any missing person that you know of, at least from the west side of the town yet.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Don't you just love it when the GM says yet?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely doesn't inspire anxiety.
anxiety.
What am I coming into? Oh dear. Oh dear.
Right.
It's a totally calm session of Monster of the Week. Nothing to see here.
Nothing scary is afoot.
I think I'm gonna hold on to my last hold from Need a Bad Situation because I think
Oh,
I
please
think
do.
Rosie's finally starting to get it now. Like if last night wasn't an indication that this is real, this is real. Because it's like affecting more than just this small group, and it wasn't like something I can chalk to a hallucination I had.
Mhm.
If possible, and we can save this for another scene when we're all together instead. But I think she'd like to start to investigate a mystery at this point in time and start like trying to put pieces together.
I think you get
we'll.
a text before you get involved in that. That is that says something to the effect of Rosie, sweetie, I've arranged a brunch at the West Egg Tea Rooms. Your hold on, you're not siblings.
Cousin.
Cousins, yes. Your cousin is in town.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Completely forgot about that. Yeah, on my way. Just had some grading to do. Haha. And she'll head
Haha.
to
Lol.
LOL.
different generations of texting.
Tee.
The West Egg Tea Rooms, as the name would suggest, is a very 1920s kind of Great Gatsby Art Deco inspired kind of space. And it's relatively quiet in here. It is brunch o'clock, but it's Thursday morning. There are not necessarily that many people who are interested in having brunch at this hour. And as a result, it seems that Robert has secured the largest table in this place. Although it's not Robert today.
It's it's early summer, so a few people are. You see that there are some parents with like younger kids celebrating like the end of the school year, or like just celebrating exams that are going well for kids. So yeah, you all bit by bit arrive at the tea room, and please describe Nathan. What's going on with your character? Please describe.
Well, yes. It seems that it's not. While it is the time and location that was suggested, and they are sitting next to the person that you recognize as Eridani Jones, it appears that Antiquity, the drag persona that Robert Clark performs as on a Wednesday night, is sitting at the table. You would describe her outfit as a even divide between an Audrey Hepburn style, like long cigarillo style deal, and a business Egyptian queen kind of energy.
Wait, no, elaborate.
So the wig, kind of like short, straight to the shoulders, in a kind of slight bob, very cleanly done. Eye makeup, black gold, and a little bit of turquoise. The pantsuit that she is wearing, very clean.
Shoulder pads.
Padded shoulders, absolutely. There is an embroidering on the kind of collar of the pantsuit of a number of hieroglyphics that spell her name, Antiquity, in it.
It's giving head of the Egyptology department at Stevenson University, and I kind of love it.
Ah, darling, you've arrived. Please do sit down.
You look incredible, and hug. She goes into a hug with Danny.
I have a small question.
Yeah.
Did the text message you sent, did you sign off with who it was from? Or
No,
yeah.
absolutely not.
And did anyone tell Danny that Rosie was coming?
Whether there's been a specific issue. Because yes, Robert would have informed you that we need to have a conversation with. We can do that in flashback if you want, but
okay, no. It's more of a So Danny hasn't spoken to Rosie in quite some time.
Hmm.
So it's whether they would be surprised by I guess, because the text message, if it wasn't signed, then it's a new phone. Like, don't know how you would have got the number, but like, who's this from? Don't have it saved, kind of thing. So it really depends.
Ooh.
But
Okay.
I think there would be a kind of a biscuit or like a sandwich halfway to the mouth, and like, oh,
I did tell you, darling, that she was coming.
I just did. Rosie, it is amazing to see you. How are you doing?
You never call, you never text, but I miss you like it's not been a day. Look, I can be mad at you all I want right now, but a lot is happening right now, and I just need something familiar and something comfortable to be around. So
Yeah, no,
don't
of course.
apologize to me for
Literally
anything.
chucks
Just
everything on the table and like will gather you up in their
yeah.
arms in a really big, those kind
Oh,
of really deep
Oh,
hugs that are like,
mm.
oh,
Mm.
this hug is all of these memories of like
yes.
the
Mm.
times
Oh,
that we've spent together, and the way the love we hold for each other, even if it has been very like separated and
Mm.
That hug occurs in the foreground, and in the middle ground, Antiquity dispassionately looks at this group of affection and checks her pocket watch. We should be expecting Chengatai shortly.
Changatai
and
approaches.
yeah, on that note, Changatai approaches, looking very out of place in this setting, in that they're also in all black, but theirs is a mixture of like black leather pants, straps everywhere, a
Mhm.
long black coat, but they also do have like a pride belt with all the different like flags in it.
Mhm.
They have like rainbow laces. This is the most colorful you're ever going to get out of them. And
Mm.
it's only for this season. And they have their hair pinned up in like a faux hawk, and
Ooh.
they are essentially just kind of like breezing into the space, and they're like all smiles when they see Antiquity, and they'll be like, Anne, and they're like, and they think to themselves, and they're like, Auntie Anne, that sounds weird. No, no.
That's
Do I?
Mystiquity to you, dear.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Miss, yes. Okay, yeah. It's been a long morning. I
No,
don't
it's
think I've slept much today.
I understand. There are two reasons why I'm gracing your presence today. One, I did not have the opportunity to do so yesterday, and to be honest, if I don't take the opportunity every so often, I go a little stir crazy. And two, concealer is excellent for hiding tired bags under one's eyes.
That is
Real.
very, very true. Very true. You're always so wise. And Rosie, great to see you. And
Good morning.
Danny, what's
Hey,
up? And like Cheng Tai's gonna like put their hand out for like a handshake,
yeah.
and then it's gonna be like a little secret handshake, and like it's gonna look so odd, but it's literally just gonna be like like it's going to look so choreographed.
Mhm.
Yes, yeah, like it's that 100% that choreograph, that automatic thing, as if we've done it a million
Million
times.
times.
But
Mhm.
like that, and it's that like very easy familiarity
Yes.
with the rest of you.
You say a word in an ancient tongue that Rosie does not know.
Mhm. Right?
It's
Yeah.
just like,
So
how have you been?
Oh, so much has been going on, but like huh, good ish. Um,
Hmm.
s- sorry, Rose. What were you gonna say, Rosie? I'm.
so yeah, about all of this and the shakes and is this like the day I found out what my godly parent is? Is this like a
um.
I don't like this energy at all. I need you all to tone it
Everyone,
down.
everyone, open up your Scion 2 ebooks, please.
My dear Rosie, there are a wide variety of things that
Yeah.
we do handle. Deities are yet to be one of them, though, so you don't need to worry about that at the very
Not
least.
off the table. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Cass. Can I try and like read the energy in this space, especially coming from Rosie, because Rosie's probably seeming a bit out of the norm because like I'd see Rosie practically every day, so I'm kind of like
Mm.
reading the vibes as in something's not up here.
Yeah, you could do whatever. I don't think you need to even roll dice for that.
Okay, it's probably
Right.
plastered over Rosie's energy, to be honest.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
You're not under pressure. This isn't a running through a town looking at people putting mysteries together. This is just
Uh,
vibing.
Shanghai is gonna like look at Rosie like really like a proper kind of like assessing look to be like, okay, they don't seem to be physically hurt, so obviously it's emotional, and to say, Rosie, what's wrong?
Yeah, Rosie's making no effort to sort of hide her. I wouldn't call it disdain, but like you get invited to a place with friends and you are immediately left out of the conversation. Is that sort of feeling of like, I don't even know why I'm here right now.
Boo boo.
But like she's also trying to make the best of it, considering.
Mhm.
So it's just like sarcasm. It's
protect.
any effort to keep a sense of dignity in this situation where she has absolutely no power in this like like social hierarchy.
A
But
delicate
yeah,
hand with press-on nails lands on the back of your palm, Rosie. Miss Jones, I can tell that this circumstance is kind of sweeping you off your feet, but it also seems like you have similarly learned some things very recently that need to be shared. I think we all do, but I would be behest to go and share investigative secrets on an empty stomach. So how about we go order ourselves some
Oh yes,
wait
please.
oh gosh. I was gonna say a word and then it immediately left my mind
And
because I
after you
can't
do,
pronounce it properly.
In that the way.
We're gonna
In that way.
mispronounce it correctly because that can just be a character flaw. We cannot discuss some mysteries on an empty stomach, so we're going to sit down and have some huevos rancheros and talk about what's going on, shall we?
That was pretty good.
That sounds great. Chengatai is going to like take off their coat and put on the seat next to Rosie, and they're going to take a deep breath, and it obviously looks like they're trying to center themselves, and they're going to exhale, and they're going to like just try and like pick up the energies or like the emotions kind of happening in this general space,
Mhm.
because they would have seen like people milling around in town, kind of sus like something's not okay.
Bearing in mind that I think we're about to go and take a break in the stretch, do we kind of have the camera like we start to talk as like the music bed kind of rises up above our voices as we each share the very interesting mornings we've all had?
outro establishing shot.
Outro establishing shot, and across the entire town.
Now I want some Cuevos Rancheros.
Me too. Along those lines of just the supernatural desaturation that we saw earlier through Eridani, they just start to pulse and grow a little bit bigger
Mhm.
as new lanes and new footsteps are being walked somewhere throughout this town. And we will be right back after the break.
Ooh.
Oh my.
That laugh.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this Monster of the Week mystery sponsored by Evil Hat Productions. It's called Colourless. My name is Apollo. I am your keeper, and my whole arm just cracked when I went like this. But we're not gonna talk about that. Where we left off before the break, our investigators, our hunters, were reconvening after the shenanigans of the night prior. Eridani got into town and the fuckery is about. Met up with Robert, who was setting up, about to really just hit the books. And we learned from both Rosie and Chengatai that people have started disappearing throughout the town. That's where we left off. All of you kind of sat down and kind of hit the ground, started talking about all the mysteries. For the sake of time, we're going to assume that you all have done your downloads of information. And now I'm going to ask you as a group, though you do not have to stay together as one. You can always split the party. This is a very Scooby-Doo type of vibe. So, what in your minds are the threads that can be followed up, and where do people want to go?
Two big locations sit in my mind. Returning to the site of the meteorite, which we did not secure, and considering where people have been disappearing from, may be a relevant location to investigate, just in case that's where they might have gone to. I do at some point also want to speak to Amanda, although she may not necessarily be conscious yet. I may have to go and visit her later.
Yeah. At this stage, you know what? Just roll me 2d6.
Sure thing. That's not very high. That's a 5 in total.
Yeah, I will say that you have actually contact info for the nurses from the hospital, just on the side of just on the border of the town. They have not gotten back to you, which lets you know that Amanda is not awake yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just a pure luck check. Amanda just hasn't woken up yet. She's stable, but she's just asleep. She's recovering.
There are many threads to pull at. No worries.
Yep, many threads.
Okay. Chengatai would also be kind of keen to follow up on the location because, like Anne has stated, we didn't secure the meteorite at all, and they are concerned with the kind of spots of colorlessness seeping into the town, especially after seeing that stranger and what they left behind. So they're trying to see if they're connected to the site in some way.
Absolutely.
Leads that Danny, like, I guess Danny will be following where everyone else is leaning in some respects, but is also kind of gonna tell everyone where they have seen those kind of trails of Colourless flowing to.
I will say, cross-referencing that with Rosie's assumption and deduction that it seems like the people who are disappearing were all from one side of the town.
Yeah.
The trails are more heavily concentrated on that one side.
Did they kind of, in the same way that they stopped at Pages of Paradiso in front of the door, waiting for something?
Yeah.
Does it look like that they went into other doors on the main street, or they nothing on the main street other than, I guess, the
definitely yes on the main street, and a lot of the main street is sort of like top floors of buildings are residences,
right?
but
Yeah.
the ground level floors are businesses. So not so much going into the businesses, because at night they all would have been closed. But you have gotten the vibe that maybe there could have been trails that went up. You do see some trails actually like curl up the side and then enter through like windows and things.
Right. And with that in mind, would we have now got more of an idea of who is missing? And we can cross-reference to that, or
Yeah. So Bunny and David are the two priorly named people. Then there are, I'm gonna say, 7 others.
okay.
So right now it's
9 missing in total.
9 missing in total. and again, it is very random. It
Mhm.
is, one was an electrician, one was a teacher from one of the primary schools who was leaving. The teacher they were leaving, they just found their car just on like the side of the road,
Oh.
with the door open. Um, and then just a bunch of other people of like, oh, they just never showed up last night, or they were walking with people and then they just trailed off, and
Right.
people didn't assume anything for it. Yeah, but about 9 people right now are missing.
But none of them actively from their homes, but the trails go up to their homes.
A couple people from their homes, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a mix of everything.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah.
But it seems that they're all geographically on that part of town when those abductions
Yeah.
occurred.
The
Gotcha.
one common lead is that it all happened towards the eastern side of the town.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think Rosie is gonna prioritize starting at Honk and Hank's house, seeing if those two kids have seen anything, and instead of going back to the crash site, investigating like the eastern part of town to see if this is, and if I'm to believe these things I'm hearing from these wizards, then maybe it's some sort of creature that's like gotten out or something, and if that's the case, maybe it's like still in town somewhere. So she's gonna start her investigation at Honk and Hank's house.
Awesome.
I think if you're splitting off, Rosie,
Yeah.
I might make my excuses to the others and come with you.
Makes
Sweetheart.
sense.
Yep.
Lovely. Time for me to write down how we're splitting the party.
Using that against us later.
And then,
No, it's just to give you more information. I'm nice.
hey, nothing go wrong. And looks to Chengatai in that case then and says, since you were so pivotal in our rituals last evening, I'm sure I will need your help again for further matters, if you're willing to accompany me.
Oh, of course. I'm not as trained in this, so I will default to you in all of these
I can
matters.
supply the texts, you can supply the focus.
Sounds like a great pairing, and I am concerned about the people who are missing and where they're missing. There doesn't seem to be any sort of rhyme or reason as to how they've been, I suppose, how they were selected.
Only a location, yes.
Yeah.
It's a loose lead. We may be able to find some way of being able to track them, if not in a forensic sense, maybe in a more arcane sense. But I do have a hunch that, considering where they have been taken from, that it will be at least directly connected to
The location
the
of the
meteor house.
meteorite.
So,
I
at least if we retrace our steps up there, we may run into somebody.
Great. And also, who question this, like, did we ever find out who recorded the actual video of the meteorite strike? Because
Interestingly, we
I
did
would
not.
like to investigate that. So that would just be like looking through who posted the video and trying to glean their name from their like username or something, whatever it is,
Yeah, for sure.
to see if they're still up and about.
Yeah. I don't think this is like something that you would necessarily have to roll for. You just go to their channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll stay with you. We'll say that you've split up now. So as you are walking up, Chengatai, you were just kind of leaving Anne. You're leaving Anne to and the most perfect drag persona I've ever heard of. You are leaving Anne to just do the scouting and leading the way as you are doing the internet sleuthing. Internet sleuthing wise, the channel is honestly just a string of like letters and numbers. It's not that interesting. What the channel is small town conspiracy theories by just a guy. There's a guy in this town who everyone knows to be very tinfoil hatty. Like when the news of the meteor shower came out, he was that there's a video about the meteor shower and how it happens like every almost 30 years and how it's an omen of blah 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 blah. Things that for anybody else is like, oh, okay, you're just a conspiracy theorist. I bet you thought Atlantis was real.
Hey. Okay.
Dang. Okay. Hard left turn. I whip out a copy of Plato's Republic. Yeah, very like ancient astronaut theorist stuff. Stuff that you're like, okay, next. But
like, sure, dear.
having been trained and worked with the Order of the Watching Star, it's that funny thing of even a broken clock will be correct twice
a day.
Every now and then they hit a nail on the head and then immediately swerve off. So they're like a very auspicious cosmological event. Anyway, lizard people, and you're like, no, that's not where you should be focusing. But yeah.
Okay.
It's for the best. If they were
yeah.
more consistently accurate, we may have to kind of take them off site. So
they live in the same apartment building that you visited earlier today. They live in the apartments by the train station.
Nice.
And you can come up with this guy's name because I'm drawing a blank. I'm trying to. I'll be so honest with you guys. I'm trying to think of white guy names, and I really can't.
This is a Kevin Richardson.
Oh my
okay,
God.
a Kevin Richardson.
Go for a Gary Evans.
Gary?
Yeah, I was gonna go Gary.
You know what?
Gary's also pretty good. I will take a raise.
Gary, the
on Gary.
Conspiracy theorist, and that's him.
It's just
Gary Richardson.
All I'm thinking now is Final
Kevin's.
Space. So.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
Is that where that came from? Maybe.
Yeah. So Gary Richardson, the occasionally correct conspiracy theorist, lives in the town, was a person who uploaded this video. Yeah. Rosie, Gary Richardson is one of the people who is missing. And
Okay.
yeah, I think that's all you know right now about him. But yeah, once you find the channel, you realize, dang, this is one of the missing people.
Dang.
I'm
going to relay this information to Anne. Question about Anne: are you wearing sensible walking shoes, or are you in heels in this small town? I'm imagining cobblestones.
There are two ways that this and this is like a tone thing, so we'll do this above table. This can either be the kind of story in like a Brindlewood Bay kind of sense, where technically you can wear whatever and you still have like a bag with inventory, and she'll pull spell books out of like nowhere, or it's she goes home and changes. And to be honest, that would be sensible. I am entirely fine with either, but it's a tone thing. So
hey, this is a fantasy.
I'm completely imagining like stiletto pumps.
Yeah, no, she's still in the brunch outfit then. She's still in the brunch outfit, and she still has arcane investigation gear on hand.
It's possible to run in tweezers.
Oh, these stilettos are actually those knives, you know?
Yeah. The stilettos inlaid with hieroglyphs and protective wards. You know, these are your investigative drag stilettos.
I like that she has Wednesday night drag and investigative drag.
Yeah.
In that same way.
Sometimes you have to do both in very quick succession. You're like, I don't have time to change. I'll just inlay runes onto my drag outfit.
Got to investigate an arcane mystery. Good drag show at 8. It's like,
literally. Yes. Okay.
Why do they not invite her to the Met Gala? Right. So yes,
you get up to the meteorite site.
And
are you surveying the perimeter, or are you going straight for the site?
I think so. In we'll say flashback for expediency. She does pop back to the pages of Paradiso and removes 2 spell books. One, we established for context for those who do not remember the last session, we established that spell books have a visual relevancy to the things that they do. So she pulls out a spiral bound book that has, it looks quite contemporary, like one a student would use, that has a number of spell circle and binding rituals within, and what looks like and like an old school OSR map, like a topographical one that has been in very elaborate, like fountain pen ink, marked with a whole bunch of kind of long notes that are almost blacking out the page, and that has a bunch of tracking spells in it.
Fair enough. Awesome. Yeah. As you approach the perimeter, the color is slowly coming back to this area. Like the gradient, the saturation is slowly being turned back up. As you get to the site, the exact place where the meteor was, it isn't there. And however, there are still things that you can glean from around here. You hear rustling in the trees nearby that you did not hear before.
I'd like to read a bad situation. Actually, oh, can I read like the vibes I'm getting from the tree rustling?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a case of when you're like, I feel like I'm being watched, sort of an eerie feeling, or a case of, oh, this just sounds like average wildlife
Yep,
in
sure.
the underbrush. What should I roll for? Read a bad situation?
It's plus sharp.
Yeah, give me either roll a bad situation, please. Yeah, or investigate a mystery, whichever you would gravitate more towards.
I'd say investigate a mystery.
Yeah.
So that is a 9, 10.
10, lovely.
I have a sharp
Rolls
of
2.
+1. Yep.
What you want to know? What are you asking me about this little thing?
Is there any feeling of immediate threat to Anne or myself in this moment?
No feelings of immediate threat. You actually feel like whatever is around here is walking away.
I don't know if I like that or I don't.
You can hold. So if you have further questions, you do not need to ask them
Yeah.
now if
No,
chasing this person is more important.
No, I'm gonna hold one. I'm gonna hold one of my questions. Oh wait. Do I hold 3 then?
On a 10 plus, you hold 2. So you've asked one, and you can hold on to the other for a later moment.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
sorry.
the
Yeah,
ones that you rolled earlier, yeah, we'll just start stacking them.
deadly. Because I only did ask the one question
this is
earlier
true.
as well, so
Yeah,
I
You're
technically have
stacking them.
2. The thing that seems to be moving away. Would I be able to discern if it was humanoid or animal?
The noises are too big to be animal. So humanoid, every now and then you do hear a grunting noise, like someone struggling or just kind of like burdened. You reach out emotionally, numbness.
Oh, so similar feeling to the pub.
Exactly same similar feeling. Like this could be the exact same creature. Obviously, it's not going to be Amanda, but it feels the exact same way.
Am I gonna do a stupid thing?
Well, there is more than one person here. It's fine. We do need to act on that, though.
Yeah. No, I'll like quickly relay this to Anne, like in like a low kind of hushed kind of whisper, and then I'm going to start stalking it.
Okay.
Awesome.
We are gonna I think she just moving in a kind of surprisingly direct way, where you were kind of like about to kind of do a stealthy kind of approach, which I think is definitely still worth doing. And goes, I have a feeling I know what they're burdened with, and moves directly towards the wrestling. I think it would be in your best interest to stop what you're doing, and I am in a position to make you, should you decide
Ooh.
otherwise.
A threat having been issued, you don't see any discernible change in, in
No.
behavior.
Yeah.
What you see is a man, completely monochrome in that grayscale. You recognize it. This is a friend of Amanda's. This is PJ, or Paul John. Everyone just calls him PJ. He is one of the town's. He's an electrician in the town, and he owns a big company. In this small town, the majority of the repairs would be done by JP and Son, PJ and Son. That's it. Yeah. As he is carrying the meteorite,
Yeah,
you can
I
see
thought
it
as much.
peeking. His back is to you, but you can see it peeking from beyond his arms. It's quite big as he's moving it.
With an opera gloved hand, quite firmly, and just grabs him by the shoulder and holds him in place to go and turn him around.
Oh, are you doing anything magical to hold him in place? Because this is a big guy.
I will assist in the holding, but also quick question: does this guy look familiar? As in, he was the guy I saw on the street yesterday evening, or is this a new grayscale man?
New grayscaled man.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
No spells yet, fully acting in a way to go and grab his attention. Essentially, I would like to roll act under pressure to kind of get him to focus specifically on me instead of trying to wander off.
Yeah, give me a act under pressure.
Fabulous.
And Chengetai, if you would like, you can give me a help out to see if Anne can roll.
Get an additional
Yeah,
plus one on it.
yeah.
You resolve that roll first, since that's important.
Okay, so I rolled a. Just want to check.
Yes, so you're just rolling. So for help out, you roll plus cool. On a 10 plus, your help grants a +1. On a 79,
no.
+1, but you also expose yourself.
It was an 8.
Okay.
On
So
an
get
8,
+1, but you are also in danger.
Like yesterday, this is great.
Of course, that's how it works, baby. We're going to roll this 2d6. It's
Yeah.
very good. It's a 10 by itself.
Nice.
I have the advance. I've read about this sort of thing where I roll sharp instead of cool when I act under pressure. So it is a 12.
Heck yeah. Awesome. 12. Chengetai, you run up, you grab the other arm. For a second, you are a little bit too close to the meteorite. And you get a wave of just psychic feedback. Like a microphone being put directly in front of a speaker. It's just that blinding. It's nothing, but it's also a little bit too overwhelming of the feedback loop. And you are, you're gonna take. Well, let me see what they're literally called. Is it injury? Yes. You're gonna take 1 harm from just your proximity to this.
Okay, doke.
And again, you hear the voice that you heard in the pub. First it said, "Are you not tired?" You hear the same voice in the back of your mind just say, "Would it not be easier to be uncaring?" And that is what you hear And we're
Mm.
gonna pick up with you guys in just 1 second. As across it, Kestrel's just giving me the I don't like
I don't
this.
like that. I don't like that.
I don't like that at all.
Mm-mm.
I don't like that
Mm-mm.
one bit. We're gonna pick up with you two. So Rosie and Aridani, going to Honk and Hank's house?
Yeah, I'm just sort of like showing. I'm mostly using this as an excuse to show Danny like all like the places I've seen in the
that's
last year.
sweet.
Like,
Mhm.
that's where I picked up my first really, really bad coffee. Don't ever go there. Oh, we actually held like a short little busking tournament there. Don't ask how that works. I'm still not really sure about what the rules of that were, but we made a lot of cool music. Just like pointing things out.
That's really cool. Like Danny will be kind of engaging, mostly quietly, but engaging. But what are you thinking? Like, what's going on in your mind as you're showing them all of this and generally acting like everything's fine and dandy?
And is this something Danny has like insight into, or
So I can read your thoughts.
oh gosh, this is a distraction. Danny
Mhm.
being here is something I am hooking myself onto so that I don't start to panic at this situation that is like evolving around me and in front of me.
Fair
So
enough.
it's just my cousin is here. I'm going to ignore that like they can use magic and they've been lying to me about that this entire time. And we're going to focus on the fact that we're walking past like a little chalk mural that like the kids drew on one of my sort of first few months here, and it's one of my proudest achievements because that is good. That is a good thing to hold on to right now.
Yeah. So you're
Mhm.
walking past this mural. It's on the side of a building. It used to be an old like fire station, and they moved the fire station to a newer facilities. So now this one is like it half still has the trappings of a fire station, but it's pretty much just like a half empty building. Like they still have some storage there. It's the mural of multicultural pride, and now you do see it, Rosie. Some of the paint here has, to anybody else, it looks like it had just chipped off, but now you can see it. Some of the paint has started to turn black and gray scale.
She says out loud, mostly to herself, oh, come on, have you even gotten let the kids have something?
No.
No.
A voice booms from the sky. No.
Oh, I love it.
Find the monster, and then maybe. I don't know. Yes, you see this. You have a little moment of, dang, they got the mural.
Does it
Yeah.
look like where that the paint has started changing color? Does it look like the person was kind of something just brushed it, or it was like a very deliberate kind of this will change?
It looks like, judging on it's not necessarily fresh, but it's been here like a few months. So the colors should be, all the rest of the mural, the colors are very vibrant.
Mhm.
It's just that here they're not really.
Yeah.
It looks like as if somebody get it intentionally painted. I'll say what it is. It's a collection of a part of the mural here. There are flags. There are two big central figures that seem to be dancing, and then on a like glade, but the grass is the handprints of the kids from the local primary school.
Mhm.
And they're all in different colors, so it looks like they're dancing on like a rainbow.
Mhm.
One of the hands is fully gray.
Did they sign the hands or anything? Like, is there any indication of who the hands are?
No, there's no
Okay.
indication here of, this hand was Mikey's. This hand is
David's or Bunny's friend.
No.
Yeah.
Would have been fun, but no.
Yeah.
They're too
And-
old. Yeah.
And is
Bunny
there like
and David probably would have helped out with like some of the bigger figures here if they were
Yeah.
involved in it, but no, these hands are like primary school age.
okay, and like there's no real aura of extra magic here. It's just
The aura here is maybe more not akin. It's not a targeted thing. It is more of an
Mhm.
ambient thing.
okay, cool. So it's
It's
just
like
floating
those
past.
trails.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like those trails that you saw.
hmm
Yeah. After a while of walking, you reach Honk and Hank's house. Honk and Hank being a pun on the group of teenagers being called a gaggle of teenagers. So now two of the teenagers are called Honk and Hank. There's your context, Lola. Love that. You talk to them. They're very polite. We're not going to do the whole conversation.
Mm.
What info are you looking to get out of them?
Yeah, it's mostly just, hey, did David stay the night? And if not, like, where did he go, like, after he, like, left? Like, have you heard from him recently? Where did you see him go last night? You know, basic sort of.
Yes, they let you know that no, he didn't stay over. The majority of the guys in the gaggle of teens live close enough to each other, so they kind of take the serpentine route around the
Yeah.
housing estates and all the
Mhm.
neighborhoods to drop people off. David is the last person in the group order-wise because he is the one that lives closest to the edge of town, like to the edge of the housing estates. So he dropped them off, and then he started to walk off. It usually takes him less than 5 minutes to get home.
Yeah.
And they left at about when the cafe was closed up for the day.
Mm.
So you know they're a gaggle of teens. They weren't going to be at the pub where Bunny was, or close to the bar where Amanda was at the end of the day. They weren't there. But yeah, give me anybody who wants to. You can either help or do whatever. Investigate a mystery.
Yeah.
Give me investigate a mystery, or just because I'm aware that we've been rolling investigate a mystery so much, even though it's topical. In the list of the player reference moves, there's the alternate weird basic moves. So you can also have a look at that. You could also do something like an investigate a phenomena.
Mm.
Yes.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah. So, which gives you more questions to expand on the investigate a mystery.
Yeah. I think I would happily investigate a phenomena. I think walking through town with Rosie, Danny's kind of getting a vibe for what this town should be like, and being able to separate that for what it is now. And so, yeah, happily.
I'll help out with that as well. Just giving you all the little trader secrets of like how this town operates, as though I've been here my whole life. Let's go.
Actually, do you want me to roll again, or can I use my hold?
You can use a hold. Yeah, that's the
Okay.
whole point. You roll well, you get to keep them.
Yeah. You know what? I think I will roll again, purely because there's more than one question on this that I want to ask.
Please do.
This could go horribly wrong.
If you need me to roll a help out roll as
Yep.
well, I did get a 11.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna say that either you can help out or you could do your own investigate a mystery. So was that 11 for a help out or for an investigate a mystery?
I'll do my own investigate a mystery.
Yeah.
Right. There is a couple of questions I want to ask from there for this.
Any questions? Let me go into the lore dock of my mind.
Okay.
Lola, do you want to go first?
So I rolled a 7 on the dice plus 1 sharp, so 8. So
Yep,
it's just one extra.
Yeah, so you had one extra, yeah.
Yeah. So, how is this phenomenon doing this? I guess.
How?
How is all of this happening?
I think you start going into that investigator hunter mind of, is this a creature?
Mm-hmm.
There's evidence that it could be. There's evidence here where you start drawing a line of, these are all the people that disappeared. Here's where here's their last known location. Can I draw a line?
Mhm.
Yes. You can draw a line as if it were making its way down the town, with its last known point being the courtroom, being the one gay pub, and its surrounding areas, which would encompass the pub where Bunny was last seen, because they were like not neighbors, but they were just like a door down.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a pattern of, you can almost recreate a route here.
Mm-hmm. So it's a case of the phenomena is spreading, not necessarily by contact, by almost like it's radiation that is spreading based on like where it's going.
I think you started the little trails of discoloration that you saw might be like the slime of a snail.
Okay, so less a Half-Life type thing, but more of a like leaving behind. Yeah. Okay.
For now, yeah. For now, you right now that's the leading theory of, this is something that is making its way across along the town. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's definitely also a contact thing versus being directness. Yeah.
Rosie, what do you want to ask me?
So if there's any more information you can give on what sort of creature it is, going off of what Adani's just learned, I can ask that. And my second question would be, just bring the list again. What could like fix, cure, or slow down what's happening here? Rosie's thinking a sort of big picture from this point.
Dang, at this stage, I don't think that you would even really know much of like fixing this. For sure, returning the people, whatever this is. I think there is something to being able to look and see, well, if this was just like a murder spree, like what looked to happen with Amanda, they would be dead in their homes, or their bodies would have been found on the street. This is a disappearance. So whatever this is needs the people. It's also worth pointing out that you knew last night Amanda, upon being resurrected, started walking. So maybe these disappeared people are heading in a direction. But you know, it's hard to say.
Could I use my hold before you answer my other question? Could I use my hold to ask an additional question from this list?
Yeah. Sorry.
What?
So unserious. Yeah.
Judging by the spread of this, can I ask what will be affected next? Like, do I know if people are disappearing? Could I estimate like a group of people or like a building that will next be affected? Like who the next person to disappear might be?
You don't know enough about whatever this is that is causing this to be able to deduce a possible next possible next target.
That's slip though. That's slip.
No, it's fine.
Never a victim. No.
It's a leprechaun. He's giving them good luck. You know, all the disappeared people, don't fit a common description of, age ranges, gender, sexuality, culture, ethnicity. There's no common denominator
Hmm.
beyond just their
Mhm.
geographical location.
Mm.
Um, it seems to the trail seems to have gone cold on the main street.
Right.
So there's also something to the fact that it didn't go to the western side. It didn't then it's not circling the town as far as you can tell, but the trail goes cold on the main street, which is the biggest stretch of town there is.
Mhm.
Then instead of what sort of creature is it for my second investigative mystery question, could I ask what is being concealed here?
Hmm.
Okay. What is being concealed? The thing that is being concealed here is that none of the disappeared people showed any signs of struggle.
Hmm.
Mm.
It is clearest from the lady from the teacher whose car was found.
Mhm.
The car was pulled into the side of the road safely. The door was opened, and it's as if she just walked back.
Hmm.
Something got to her in her car while it was moving. Nothing attacked her
Yeah,
traditionally.
Mhm.
there's not a sign of forced entry into any rooms. There's not a sign of a struggle in the streets. Uh, Possessions were all still in the car,
Mhm.
Hmm.
so it wasn't a robbery, probably wasn't a kidnapping. It's like these people up and walked away.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I, leading on Rosie's questions, is there perhaps any spirits in this town that I could talk to that might be able to tell me or have seen some of these people as they have been taken or walked away, as in be able to give me an indication of where they went to if they are not leaving those same trails that
Hmm.
I'm seeing. Like, is there?
Yeah. Much like any town, there's always going to be some ambient amount of spirit
Mhm.
activity around. There is a graveyard, like a cemetery not too far from where you are right now. It's
Mhm.
pretty close to one of the housing estates. This town is pretty famous for having like a knight that was from the town centuries
Mhm.
ago, who is sort of like, some places will have patron saints. This town has a patron knight,
Mhm.
who is. There's some folklore about the spirit roaming the streets, protecting those in need, or
Hmm.
standing guard over the town.
Yeah.
Um, so you could always try talk to
Yeah.
the ghost of a
Yeah.
knight.
I
Hmm.
think, with that in mind, Rosie, I know this is relatively new, but I'm sorry for not explaining anything to you before this, but I thought it was better. Um, I think I would like to try something. I'd like to, if we go to the graveyard, I want to see if there's any information that we could glean from there.
You're not going to do any raising the dead, making
Oh,
zombies sort of thing?
no raising zombies, no raising the dead. I mean, I guess it will kind of look like I'm speaking to thin air, maybe. Sorry.
My
But
threshold for weirdness is sort of tanked a little bit, so that's, not too bad.
unless, I mean, if we'll dig around in this many pocketed coat and kind of pull out this wrapped kind of it's not as wonderfully fresh as having just been fried, but some puff puffs. It's sealed in wax paper, and I don't suppose, like, if you maybe have I don't know, anything sweet, something that is that you like or whatever, and maybe they'll, I don't know that they'll show themselves to you, but perhaps you'll be able to at least glean something. And this is on the way to the graveyard. I'm basically just saying, like,
Yeah,
some
yeah.
kind of gift or something to.
Yeah.
Promise you won't judge.
Of course not.
She pulls out some from
I like
God
all
knows
three of us
where.
just went.
From God knows where, from within like her shirt, she pulls out like this bag of day old pastries from Chingy's store.
Hmm.
I was saving. Look, they're really good pastries.
Oh yeah, no, I know. Changtai is amazing.
I forgot you two have met before. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, it's a long story. It's a long story.
You realize you're gonna have to tell me.
Yes. We fought something and I don't know. They're just really good in a fight and they were really helpful and then we started hanging out and got to know each other and now we're friends. And I guess
Okay,
we
but
kept in touch.
that's way too vague. When you say fight, I'm thinking like PTA meetings or like I don't know, someone stole your parking spot. But I know that you're probably not talking about that sort of stuff. Like when you say
No.
something, what sort of thing did you fight? And this conversation can go on if we want
Yeah.
to like.
Yeah.
As you guys are talking about this, you reach a small mausoleum.
Mhm.
It doesn't have like a door. It's like a big old structure mausoleum, and in front, Eridani, you see him immediately. This man looks like he walked out of Dark Souls. Like, why are you wearing full plate armor? It's June. However, he's a ghost, so I don't think he has a choice. Yeah, full like medieval armor, probably like 1500s looking type of dude. Visor down over the helmet, just kind of like resting on his sword out in front of him, muttering to himself.
I think that Danny will pause just on the edge of the mausoleum, unwrap the puff puff, and will say a gift of myself to you to ground you here, and an offering perhaps for your help.
Says doesn't look up to you. He's just again muttering, almost like into his blade, saying, "Oh, every 30 years, the stars are calling. The darkness comes, the town, it's in danger. Everyone's fading away." And well, we're gonna cut back to the others.
Mm.
Yeah. Sometimes I just keep saying shit just because I love Kestrel just going like, just
Many-
visibly being disgusted.
so many things are happening.
Lovely. Okay. So, Anne and Tengatai, you have successfully stopped this. You successfully stopped PJ. This monochrome version of PJ, very zombified, single track minded, but he's still trying to get out of the way and still trying to get at you
Move
guys.
to where it wants
Move.
to go.
Trying to continue on his path.
Mm.
What are we doing?
So Anne eyes him up and down. Is he obviously wounded?
He's a very attractive man, but he knows it, so he's a little bit slutty about it, which is the best way for men to be.
Is he wearing a little crop
And I know
top? Some shorts?
Ooh, an
Oh, he's
engineer as
wearing-
well in the overalls. Oh my!
He's in the over. I was gonna say he has like the 5-inch inseams. He was on the job. No, he's wearing the overalls, but he has like a half polo shirt, and a couple of the top buttons are undone, and you do see like a small bite mark just around the clavicle.
Ooh. Similar
Similar to the
to
one on Amanda, yes.
Amanda's neck. Okay, cool.
Which, unfortunately, my dear, has suggested that if we don't do something, this man has already died.
You'd be spot on. I'm not feeling anything from him, so
I
it
will
sounds like
say,
maybe a banishment again.
Mhm.
yeah, banishment, I think, is the good way to go about it. I'll say, Amanda being dead was because all the
All the blood had left their body.
all the blood had left her
Yes.
body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
I think you're unsure as it stands on whether he has a beating heart or not. He might be alive in an altered state.
Mhm.
Amanda only started behaving that way once she was brought back to life.
Right. Which
Okay.
gives a interesting circumstance of why. Oh, that's a dark thought as to why she might have been dead after being possessed initially. Okay. In that case, then, like the man is clearly starting almost ignoring us, trying to move on.
Yeah. It's
And
literally uncaring,
yeah,
apathetic to his surroundings. She's like, I just have to do this
and
job.
and turns to you, Chungatai. You may think me a little callous for suggesting this, but it might be of interest to keep following this gentleman until we see where he arrives on the other side.
Um, I don't think it's callous. I think it's quite practical. We don't know anything about where he's going. We can't read his mind. So it seems like that would be the safest bet for the sake of the town, really.
Also, a thought, maybe. And I'm going to read a bad situation, and I have a specific question in mind, but we'll see what other bits and pieces we get. And then I'll leave it to you to, if you want to do any magic on your end, Chenga. But, oh, not very good. So that is a 3 on the dice, plus my 2 sharp for a 5. Which I think means I do not get to ask the question, but I will ask the question anyway, and you can give me garbage information if you would like.
Yeah, that's better. That's funnier. Yeah.
Or you could be telling the truth or not. That's always interesting. So Anne thinks of the instances of the fact that we have seen trails of monochrome, but people, at least while they are while both PJ and Amanda were not trailing monochrome, they just are.
Yeah.
And so she's thinking, I wonder if this entity only leaves a trail when it does not have a body to possess.
You think that, and you start to try look behind him to see if he's leaving a trail. Your eyes get caught on his incredibly muscular forearms, and that thought is just a little bit too distracting. And that's what a 5 will get you.
Fair enough.
It's just a little bit hot. You're like, oh, dang. Whoa.
I appreciate the form, but to be honest, there was only one man for me, and he's no longer around.
Yeah. You're like, dang. I miss my late husband.
I
And that's the thought.
appreciate good form when I see it, but that is all it is for me. Chengatai, if you wouldn't mind.
I will ask along because I still have a couple of holds. So I want to use one of my holds to essentially ask the voice that spoke to me and see if they would answer me. And I'm going
Go on, do it.
So I'm going to ask them essentially, okay, how can I rephrase Anne's question? Yeah, so essentially, do you need living or dead hosts? That'll be my first one because I still have one other hold.
Okay. You are asking something that isn't physically here. It connected to you
Through
through
the meteorite,
the
actually.
meteorite,
Mm.
and it hurt you. You can ask this question.
Oh, it's gonna
You
hurt me
want to
some
take
more.
another harm?
Uh, do I?
That's a funky little trade-off. And hey, I respect the hustle. This is what
Mhm.
the hustle entails.
Oh, actually,
I'm
okay.
having fun.
Other train of thought. I want to see if there's a way to figure out if there's a connection between what is driving these bodies
Mhm.
and the voice, to see if there's
Okay, that I won't hurt you for.
okay.
Yeah, I'm
Thanks,
so
you're
nice.
so gracious.
I know, it's great. Okay. The voice was calm and authoritative, but it was also devoid of emotion.
Hmm.
There is a confidence that comes from being absent-minded in a way.
Yeah.
Anybody who, we're all we're all creatives in the space. We all know how sometimes you get in the zone creatively and you're like just really in it, you're really in the moment. And other times it's just damn, I have to just hand sew this entire thing. So I'm
Hmm.
just gonna blank my mind and let my body do what it has to do.
No thoughts,
And
just vibes.
no thoughts, just prescribed action.
Mm.
Okay. Right.
This is a prescribed action for this body.
Okay.
For PJ. Walking this meteorite down to wherever he's going is maybe an instruction that he's received,
Hmm.
and that is what he is doing.
Okay. That will be my second question. Where
Are you
are you
sure? Are
going?
you sure you don't? Are you sure you don't wanna? Are you sure you don't wanna take the harm?
Like a flea
No,
bargain.
I'm kidding. Where are you going?
Yes. Where are you going, Cotton Eye Joe?
I saw a really
No,
good
I'm
TikTok
not
about
exploring that
later,
thought.
but I'm
There
not.
was a metaphor to make there, and I'm not going to. If you know what Cotton Eye Joe is about, then you know the metaphor I was going to make. But we're moving on.
We're moving on, and we appreciate it. Sweet Lord. Yeah. It said, where are you going?
Because
Without,
it would need to know in general where it's going, whether it
yeah,
can see it like as a
yeah. He's walking. PJ says in a voice, it's like you just asked him, you know, what day is it? What's the weather like? What's in your breakfast roll? Just so casual and uncaring. To the nest.
I love how Lola and mine had just kind of went, what?
Hmm.
Mhm.
To the nest.
I'm going to relay this information to
Right.
and
And at this
say
point, he is going to try to break out from both your holds.
Hmm.
I will use magic.
Right. So he's gonna roll tough. He's gonna add a +2 to this.
Oh, the GM is rolling. Fascinating.
Oh,
Ooh.
At 10. Whatever
I
you guys want to do, you just have to beat a 10 to stop him.
okay.
Hmm.
I think we're good on that. What
Dang.
magic
Fuck me, I
would you
guess.
suggest, Anne?
Oh gosh, we do want to follow this man. So purging the entity from the body is probably not what we need.
Yeah, I have told you
Um,
that they're going to a nest. That is, do we want it to get to the nest? Will other things in the nest come to help it if we try and stop it before it enters the nest?
mm. You know what? Do you want to do one thing that is beyond human limitations and
Oh
just
yes.
suplex this man?
Oh
Oh,
yes, please.
dang.
Can I use magic to do so?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one of the effects on using magic.
Oh, beautiful.
It
Okay.
won't deal damage, but
Right. So
WWE suplex this guy.
my weird is +3 and I rolled an 11. So I am putting him in the ground.
Yeah, just tell me what it looks like. Just do it.
Yeah. So Chengatai is obviously gonna have been like kind of in front of this dude trying to stop him from going,
Mhm.
and I'm going to wrap an arm around his waist, and the other arm is going to come around, and you're going to see there's going to be a grip on my forearms, and you're going to see veins starting to pop in my hands as I squat down a little bit and just heave, and my back bends almost impossibly, like a rhythmic gymnast. It just kind of almost folds right in half as I drive him into the ground.
Okay.
Belly to back suplex. Oh my god.
Yeah,
And
belly to back. You belly to back suplexes, motherfucker.
absolutely.
He gets knocked out cold. Stays in the monochrome black and white gradient, but you can tell unconscious immediately. The
Can I check his pulse?
meteorite, pulse still beating,
Okay.
but again, no emotional awareness,
Hmm.
no emotional presence within the space. The meteorite rolls to the ground, and they called it a nest. Is
Hmm.
is it's been speaking to you as if from a mind beyond. You look at this meteorite. This definitely is a meteorite. Definitely did fall out from outer space.
Mhm.
Maybe it's an egg.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm,
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
And let's
nope,
go to the other two.
nope.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
Getting first bus out of town.
Good, actually.
And
This
leave the
town,
community to die? How dare you?
this community has an egg that fell from space. That's their problem now.
That's like every
You'd
cosmic
abandon your
horror thing.
community so easily, would you, Rosie? I see.
No,
I see.
I
understand.
wouldn't. Can I use the egg to make beignets?
I mean, you
look,
got to
there's,
chop up
Beignet.
that face hugger before it gets you.
there's an
Where you
established
are.
brunch spot in town. It definitely knows how to poach this space egg. Anyway, so Rosie and Aridani, you're looking at this depressing ass ghost night.
Mhm,
Well, just Aridani, because Rosie can't see him yet.
mhm.
You're just talking to thin air, and I'm like, yeah, this is my day now.
So I've offered my gift of food from my culture and like something that speaks of home,
Mm.
and I will gesture at Rosie to offer the pastries, offer some pastries or whatever, as
Don't take
if
all
you
of them.
so wish.
She's a ghost.
To
Don't do that.
to what?
Just in front of you. Just place it down in front. I'll place it at the feet at the bottom of the sword, just in front.
I
And
trust
I
you.
guess
Puts it down.
Rosie, the most knight that has ever knighted, is sitting in front of you.
Whoa!
Fear not. How may I be of assistance?
as
Ghost is speaking.
yes, so sorry.
Yes.
Yes, as you clearly are well aware of what is happening, perhaps it is something that was foretold. I I come to ask whether you know where this danger is coming from or going to, where people are going when they are disappearing.
People are disappearing. Yes.
You said they
Yes.
were fading.
Their hearts I cannot. Upon the sunrise I felt 9. 9 were faded. Not gone, not dead, just hollow.
Hollow. So it's not that they've just disappeared, but they're their connection to you as people of the town that you watch over is
Yes.
gone?
Yes, this town is my home. I helped establish it. I protected it. This town is me, and I am this town, and I am connected to everybody here who calls this place home. You, he looks at Rosie. I can feel your heart half connected to this town. It is not yours just yet. You are not mine, but the others, the people that have been here since birth or who moved, sought refuge here, I feel all of them. And some are missing.
Someone missing.
How do we help them?
I cannot find them, but maybe the living can. I always feared something like this would happen. I just don't know why this time.
Fine. Do you feel any that are in the process of fading? Or just those that have faded?
Just those who have faded. What year is it? Just say modern time. I don't
Okay. Yeah.
Present year.
Yes. It's yes.
Insert present year here.
Yeah.
Well, it's currently insert current year right now.
Mhm.
2024.
Mm-hmm.
Every 28, 30 years, I sense a shadow loom over the town.
Mm-hmm.
Stars fall, darkness for a period, but never has it ever
Taken
taken a
hold.
hold. Yes, exactly.
What changed? That was a question more to
Hmm.
Danny.
He is looking at you and says, "Are you from this town?"
Me? No, but I was called here. I had a hunch, and it told me that I needed to be here.
Huh. I don't. You are from here. Born, at least. There are people like you, people who are born here and have a connection. If not here, no, not you, no. There's the other, your friend?
Chengatai?
Yes, I know their heart. They are kind.
Yes.
They create a space of peace, do they not?
Yes. Or at least every time they've been around them, they have carried it.
They were born the night the last time the stars fell.
Huh.
The darkness did not follow them.
In Danny's head, they're going, huh, maybe I should check for like unexplained, like meteoric or like I can't remember the word for it, but things that happen
cosmological,
cosmological
meteorological
events that
phenomena.
happened when I was born. Maybe that explains what
Um,
manner of whatever funkiness.
yeah,
But I
from
know
the
that yeah.
from the download,
Mhm.
who was it that looked? Oh no, I don't think it was you who looked into specifically Gary and the conspiracy theorist videos. When
That
the
was me.
download occurs, you will be able to. One of the things that he hit the nail on the head on was that the meteor shower was a semi-regular thing that occurred every 30-ish years.
Mm.
Mm.
Yes.
Ooh.
Write that down.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just see the note takers just look down. I'm like,
Yeah.
they're cooking.
I'm
They're cooking.
listening.
They know what's up.
Same.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Anything else you want from the knight? As the knight is looking at you and says, "You see the darkness, don't you?"
Always.
Looks to Rosie.
Oh, this is my first time.
Your heart is full. That is good. Full of creativity, full of love. Should you wish to make this town your home, that love will be well received and well returned. And I will show myself to you whenever you require.
Thank you.
Thank you for the returned gift. And we will go on to see if we can find the pieces of your heart that have faded and bring them back.
Once the people are returned, once their hearts are full again, I will feel it and I will be happy. I am sorry that I cannot fight this fight for you.
That's what I'm here for.
If this has happened before, and if this happens regularly, what kept the darkness from spreading the last time this happened?
The darkness is like a seed planted in unarable ground, and the seed will die. The seed grew root this time. The darkness was awoken. And now my people are fading.
Mm-hmm. I think that's just so deep that I think we have to leave the spirit there. I don't know.
You're like, dang.
I have
He's
no
kinda
more
spitting.
no further questions, Your Honor.
Yeah.
No, Rosie's just processing now. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, as y'all are just gonna start, so it just kind of says, I must continue my vigil. And fades as you can sense that like his ghostly self is starting to go around the town.
Mm-hmm. I hope bolstered by our offerings. I don't know. Yeah.
Right. Let's do a quick check-in as a group. Let's say somebody calls someone. You're all on a call now.
Chenga, you're not going to believe this. You know.
Spill the tea.
Mate.
Oh, listen.
Yeah. I like there being a split kind of
Yeah.
like the screen splits. Yeah. I again for time expediency, I suppose you kind of the camera catches and Chungatai mid ritual of like using the binding, and there's these big ghostly like orange chains that are around the guy and the meteorite / egg as on with a free hand, one spellbook in the one hand, old ass phone in the other. Yes, what can I do for you, dears? I'll put you on speaker. Hold on.
As it's chanting in the background. We spoke to the spirit warden of your town. I suppose they said that the others are not. They're not gone, just faded.
Oh,
Sir Ophiuchus, indeed.
maybe they're in the net. They're part of this nest. What do you think, Anne?
Well, from what I can gather, especially since what the good knight mentioned about astrological phenomena. There may be something in the books that we can look up about this. We do have more than one historical and astrological text that we can refer to once we get back. But I think finding the nest may be key as to how to proceed.
Mhm.
Previously, and there's like a glance over the shoulder, one of us climbed the cell tower and managed to get a view of the town. I wonder if the location may be a bit more apparent, especially since it's currently still during the day.
Yeah, actually, that would. I know Rosie climbed up last. Rosie, do you remember any sort of landmarks, any buildings that kind of stood out to you when you were looking?
I'll,
Apollo?
oh, hi. Hi. Hi, my name's Apollo. I'm the keeper. Oh,
Keeper in the skies
I don't mind scaling towers.
with diamonds
the
and
biggest
eggs.
buildings along the biggest buildings along the town. Again, they're all on the main road. Along the main road,
All around the same
uh,
size.
there's a couple bigger buildings. One which is the kind of like the town hall building,
Yeah.
which is like the oldest building there is there as well.
hmm
Next to it, there is a central clock tower that is like the bottom of the clock tower has been turned into a public library. It's like a small public library is there. What used to be the history of this town is such that what used to be the home of like the old like mayor or governor of this town then got repurposed into the original fire brigade barracks, which is now kind of like the more dilapidated rundown. It's the building that has the mural on its side.
hmm
Um, there is a not it's there's one maybe like a small apartment complex that used to be like an old hospital, but when the hospital then got moved outside the town, when germ theory became a thing,
hmm
that got repurposed into like apartments and stuff, but they look a little bit a little bit fancier, a little more old timey.
hmm
And then it's just the odd building that just has a bit of a bigger storefront because uh bigger companies have come in and have started to redo up some of the buildings.
hmm
But that's about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Besides, it may be a matter of color more than
That is exactly what I'm thinking. If we can get, if we can go to where that is happening, I'm hoping. Well, hoping I think is a bad phrase, but I'm hoping it will be pretty obvious that where the nest is will have the least amount of color.
that makes sense to me as well.
Great. Um,
Also, Chenki, just on the phone. Did,
sure.
did you know that you were like, did your parents ever tell you that, like, you were born in like a meteor storm or something? Is that like something that's ever come up before? Like,
Well, they said that my birth was quite dramatic, I guess. In that they couldn't get me to the hospital. They couldn't get mom to the hospital, so I had to be born at home, and there was all sorts happening, but they didn't. All I know is that I was born like 28 years ago
hmm, hmm.
at home.
Yeah. Um, a ghost told us,
Oh, a what?
Sorry.
a ghost told me and Bug that at least like heavily suggested that you were born during the last meteor swarm, and I don't know if that's relevant at all, and I don't even know if that's like something you already knew, but
Uh,
just thought,
mm,
hey, if we're going to be talking about all the different elements that are like coming together for this, then that might as well be part of the conversation.
um,
Cool.
I have to say that's not ringing any bells. And like Chengetai's gonna look to, and because obviously they were married to their uncle, and maybe it came up in conversation at some point with like panic in their eyes, like, what was the ghost?
No, first things first. I think we're getting minor mic issues from Danny.
Yeah, sorry.
There we go. You wanted to say something, so
Yeah,
please.
no, I keep being like, oh shoot, I think I'm muted. No, I'm not muted. Yeah, I was muted.
Real.
Yeah, I think it speaks to your connection with the supernatural in the same sort of way that mine does.
Oh, well, okay. In that regards, it does make sense. I know I tried to speak to you about it, Rosie. Don't know how well it kind of sunk in, but do you remember there was a time a while ago where something happened and seemingly showed up out of nowhere?
Yeah, I just thought you were really good at being quiet because, like, you have to open stores at really early in the morning and you didn't want to, like, disturb your neighbors or something. Like,
And you remember the stranger who was snooping around you, making you feel quite uncomfortable. You
I,
seemed kind of tired
I'm
around
used
them.
to my fair share of creeps. I've done a bunch of shows and people get a little familiar. Like, are you trying to tell me? Because I don't know if I can take it right now, Chenge. That I've had a run in with something already.
Do you know what? Okay, we'll park that. We'll, we'll park that and we'll
Okay.
focus on the ghost. I think I need to talk to my mums about this because usually they tell me everything. Unfortunately, everything. Um,
If I may, like
please.
putting a delicate hand over the microphone on the phone. Are you sure this is the best time, Chengetai?
Oh no, yeah, no, I will default to you.
It's
You are pro at timing. It
oh,
is literally your job.
it's not that. Just
You're in the middle
would you
of a
rather
ritual.
finish the binding ritual on this gentleman over here, or would you like to go and
Real.
climb the
Real.
tower?
No, let's continue the binding. And at that note, like Chengetai just kind of like steals themselves, and they're gonna like step over this dude, and it's going to look like they're trying to like lasso a calf
Hmm.
with these chains. And because they can see them clearly and they're like, oh, because this is new to them, they're like, I don't really do magic, but this is quite interesting and very, very fun. And they're going to try and secure them as best as possible and be like, is this yes
Do,
Yes.
or
So
do
there's
you need our assistance?
just on the video being kind of like, what are you doing? So there
can
was
you
a
hear me
specific
now?
there's a specific effect off the back of this magic that I'd like to work, but it feels like you're probably going to be rolling the use magic, not me.
I
where
mean,
it's
what you want to do?
basically, rather than hog tying this man, it's more of a
Boo.
just in the middle of the woods. Again, not my business. The only thing I am horny for, Nathan Blades, is mysteries. Is
God, that's so real.
it's basic like a tether, like one would if you were taking a 4-year-old on a walk through your
Oh my
supermarket
god,
and you had the
those like little manic
Oh my
leashes, the little
God.
baby
Okay.
leashes.
so
Okay,
yeah.
Want a baby
This
leash and knocked out zombie?
Absolutely.
whenever Mans decides to come to and wander back to the nest,
Oh my god,
you
Michonne style.
have a
Oh.
metaphysical chain that you can follow to where they've gone to.
That's actually perfect.
Um,
Yeah, that's actually perfect.
So if you'd like to cast that spell instead of me, I would
Absolutely.
love to act under pressure to go climb the radio tower. But you
honestly, the rolling in this system is reserved more for like things that you are doing in a split second. You have so
sure
much
under
time.
pressure.
So
Cool.
you're good. You don't have to roll for this. You get it done.
Solid.
What I will ask you is,
Mhm.
are you looking at him, or does your attention at any moment go to, let's just call it what it is, to the egg? Kestrel, I'm
Ooh.
sorry. It's an egg. And I'm really sorry about
The
that.
language is so good and it's very fitting. It's just Terrible
unfortunate.
implications. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it starting to crack? Are there like little things coming out of it?
Like
It's been highlighted that it's a seed that needs a place to grow, right? So we should
And
probably
somebody
not leave
went
it
up.
in the ground.
Well, look, hey, it's something that needed a stimulus to enact, and somebody went up and filmed a YouTube video about it.
Gary.
Ooh.
God damn it, Gary.
Yeah,
Oh,
Gary.
God.
Anyway,
This is
yeah.
why you're stuck on a ship.
Ooh. Binding on the
Yes,
egg
yes.
or Gary. Oh, no. Or JP. JP?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
PJ.
JP.
I don't know.
PJ.
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 Mhm.
He has a name that's a palindrome. It's PJJP. It's his full name, so it's fine.
Ooh. Well, since I'm not necessarily doing the actual role itself, I will let Nathan make that call.
Sure. We can. We're both here, so why don't
Could
you
we
go?
both try and bind one of them?
Yeah, you go
It's
focus
not
on the
even a
man.
binding
I'll
thing.
focus on the seed/egg/meteorite. It's all good.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah. Anne,
Mhm.
as you are doing this, you get an arcane read on what could be like this.
Mhm.
Obviously, there's a negation of emotion, and does your character know about Chengetai's like true supernatural nature?
We've worked together, but I don't think this is something we have formally discussed. I think your magical aptitude is something that clearly Robert is cognizant of, but not the extent of to how or why it works, because
Okay,
he's not
lovely.
going to needle you about it, but
That's
unless
perfect.
you offer.
As you do this, you get an arcane read on it, and almost passively, you get an arcane read on the area around it as well.
Mm.
There's a similar arcane read from Chengetai in the opposite direction. There, whatever this is, you read this, and you get an arcane read relating it to nature. This feels like a parasitic force.
Mm-hmm.
You see these people, these places that have been literally drained of color and their emotional spectrum. It's a pure draining as a parasitic force. Whatever this is has that lock of I'm going to feed off you and you're going to perish because of it. And you look at Chengetai, and it's like looking at, like a donkey and a horse. You're like, there's similarities here. There's similarities. It's like looking at, okay, look, I'm not good at nature stuff. I can't always have good narrations.
Oh my god.
Sometimes it's I wish I could fight this fight for you. Sometimes it's a donkey and a horse, okay? You look at Chengetai and you're like, dang, that's close, but not really.
Right. There was a metaphor that came to mind about the circumstances Chengetai, but to be honest, it's lost on me. Weirdly
Thank you, Horde of
enough.
Tales, for having me. It's been nice.
Oh no, I love the
Oh,
above and
amazing.
below table representation of that idea. That's great.
I love it.
Incredible.
So this thing, this seed, it is drawing nutrients from the space around it. But the nutrients that it's pulling from is its motion, its vibrance. Meaning, if we're really going to go and store this somewhere, we might have to find some way that we can cut it off. And I might have just the thing. Also, keeping an eye on time. Apollo, will you allow me an out here narratively?
Absolutely. I will, at the very end, I want Chengetai to have a realization of something.
Of course. There is a hand
Give me what you gotta
gracefully
do.
removed from the phone. Rosie, Danny, you actually, sorry, let me take that from the top. So, Chengetai, Danny, you Do you know why it's called the Waiting Star?
No.
Long lines, effectively.
Watching.
Sorry, yes,
Watching
that's me.
It's
That's
fine.
me delivering that incorrectly. It being the watching star is important to the bit. We'll take this from the top. It's going to be in a VOD. You can edit it out.
Yeah, we're editing out every single blunder I make ever. It's gonna be a
That's
Yeah.
my
5
blunder.
minute
That's
VOD.
my fault.
You, live
Danny,
studio audience, gets to see everything as it happens. You're
Or
in
you
clean
know
take.
what?
secret.
Clean
Hey,
take. It's all
hey,
good.
Nathan, it's fine. Some people call it the waiting star. Some people call it the watching star. It's up to preference.
No. It's fine. I'm happy to go and do a clean take.
It's a
It's fine
donkey, it's a
because the
horse,
clarity
it's
is
a cart.
important. Chengatai,
Oh, Ida's here. Ida.
Eridani, I don't suppose you know why the organization is called the Watching Star.
I just assumed that they watched they watched for the stars?
Well, I suppose it's you're relatively close on the money, and it's something that we can speak about them later. And Anne looks up, and the camera kind of moves slowly, faster and faster and faster. We see ourselves moving through the stratosphere, and at the lower atmosphere, where there are satellites, there is one, and it's engraved with a symbol that we've only seen at the end of last session on the screensaver on the computer that Robert Clark uses to kind of connect with the wider network of paranormal investigation. This is the satellite of the Watching Star.
Oh, incredible.
Oh.
And as the satellite looks up, it not only looks at the cosmos beyond, but it also looks down on Earth. And one camera catches just the split-second realization where, Chengatai, you're looking at the egg. You've heard it speak in your mind multiple times. You know that this egg isn't it. This egg was the vehicle for whatever is causing all of this. This egg is hatched, and whatever was inside is crawling about. And it's a parasite. It is something that will drink the lifeblood and emotion out of this town until it is sated, which it will never be.
Ooh.
But it's similar to you. You were born under the same stars. It is a parasite. You feed off emotion, but at least you replace it with belonging.
Mm.
You are symbiotic with this town. This, whatever this is a parasite, and it will kill this town. And that is where we're going to leave off tonight.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Evil Hat Productions, for sponsoring us. Thank you, Order Tales, for having me. Thank you, Markus, our intrepid and incredible producer. I'm sorry, Kestrel, for the absolute damage that I've been causing you this entire session.
You got 2 more sessions of this too.
That is not where I saw that going at all.
It's an excellent tie-in. I love that.
Thank
Ooh,
you for
yes.
picking the monstrous and me going like, oh no, I have to tie this into the lore. Wait, I have a great idea. Anyway, let's do some outros for people. So, Lola.
Hey, Lola here. I am Thurville Yarns on most things, or Johnson O'Fair if you want my TTRPG games. But Thurville Yarns and For Pride, I am doing a shop update and tomorrow. So if you like yarn and knitting crochet things, my Pride yarn colorway is going to be going live tomorrow in the shop update on thirdvoltyarns.com, and 10% of the proceeds from every sale of those skeins are going to be donated in direct mutual aid to LGBTQIA plus people that are multiply marginalized. Same for my stitch marker, Pride Potion charms, etc. Everything else, and it's called Queer as in Collective Liberation. So, do the thing. That's me.
Heck yeah. Next up on the overlay, Nathan.
Hi, I am once again your androgynous android game show host from the future, Nathan Blades. You can find me as the voice of Captain Oromar Vale on the Campaign Skyjacks podcast and on general social media, including Twitch, at the Neon Caster. I am a tabletop RPG game designer, and you can obtain my games at theneoncaster.itch.io. And the thing I would like to bonus mention is that I will be doing some charity streams at the end of this month to raise money for the LGBT Foundation, who are also based in Manchester. It will be donations will go towards the miniature that I will be painting across those streams. Whatever is leading is the thing that I will paint. If the thing leading changes while I am painting something, I will switch.
Dang. Kestrel.
I'm Kestrel and I've been Rosie. Thank you so much for watching us. If you want to find me anywhere else, I am Holocampus on all social media, but you can't see me anywhere else. But you can hear me on as the ad reads on Monster Lover Pod. And we recently, over on
fan.
Urban Omens, re-released a 2-year-old Monster of the Week campaign, very similar to the one you're watching now, but very, very different in its own respects, where I edited a whole thing with a few other performers. So if you're hungry for more monster hunting and very strange and lovely queer stories, then head on over there as well. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching all of us.
And Tendai.
Hi, I'm Tendai. I've been playing Changatai. You can find me on all social medias at Geek Chic Tea. I am too lazy to change my username, so I am sticking with that for as long as I can. I've done so for at least 12 years. I
And
know.
why
it's
stop now?
so-
Sunk cost fallacy.
Branding.
Exactly. You can also find me as a player for D8 Dungeon as well as Fey Earth. And I'm also cultural sensitivity reader and editor for games. So if you need some help in that kind of area of things, let me know.
As for myself, y'all know me. Anyway, no, sorry. Hi, my name's Apollo, at Tallnerd Apollo online. You can find me mainly on like Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, I think, Twitch every now and then. I might start streaming consistently again once I start my masters and I know what the deal is. I make cosplays. I'm making stuff. This is the
Ooh.
whip breastplate of Apollo from the Hades 2. So have a look to see
Nice.
how that goes. Hopefully it'll work. Thank you so much again to Horde of Tales for having me and having this table and being just a home for this incredible and definitely not about to get scary story.
About to? Okay.
There have been some bombs dropped, you know?
Oh, this is the prelude. It's fine.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Donkeys and carts and aliens and oh
Look, man, I couldn't think of two animals that were similar but not the
no,
same.
I love it. I love it. No, donkey and cart. That is
Thank
I'm
you.
using that.
Donkey
I'm
and
using that.
horses.
Thank you one more time again to Evil Hat Productions for sponsoring us. Thank you, Markus, for
Mhm.
producing, and we will see you this time next week.
Thank
Farewell.
you. Bye.
Yay.
Mhm.